The word we use today is the word Takoha. I'll tell you how it works. There's a whanau of mine, he has some whanau in this church right now, who lived out in Papakura. I took over the Auckland Anglican Maori Mission in 1977. And by midway through that year, he happened to hear I was the priest in charge of the Auckland Anglican Maori Mission. And he turned up at the vicarage one Saturday night. It was dark. And he had this brown paper bag. It was full of 50-cent coins. It weighed a ton. He walked in the door and he says, "Nah, ne taku takoha." I said, "Amen." He said, "Go, peka no mai o te mau mai tēnei." He put this bag into my hand and he said, "This is my gift to God." I said, "Come inside." He said, "No, I just came to drop this off. Now I feel happy and I can go home." I said, "How are you going to go home?" He said, "On the bus." I said, "I'll take you." "Oh, you're too busy." I got myself here on the bus. I go down the road, wait for the bus, and I should get back home by about 8 o'clock tonight. This man did this once every 6 months. He grew up with an understanding of takoha as money that you put aside in secret for God's use. We grew up in the same village. And in that village, there's one particular home was a whare takoha. And the ringatu used to gather. And every Saturday night, they would drop their coins into this house. It was never more than threepence. The threepenny bit coin was about the size of my fingernail, this little fingernail here, not much bigger than that. They would all pray over this coin and drop it in the window of this house. They just threw it in there. As kids, we knew this money was in this house. And in a village like this, when you had no money in your pocket, it was very tempting knowing that money was there. But can I tell you something? Nobody touched it. We weren't told not to touch it, but you knew there was something sacred about that act that people carried out Saturday by Saturday. That's what this man did. He felt an obligation to God. Yeah? And he had to return what God had given him in a small way. So he set aside this 50-cent coin a week, each week. He must have been doing it for ages. Because I went out to visit him. And I sat with him and talked with him. And said to him, "How long have you been putting that money aside?" I didn't count it, somebody else did. He said, "Why?" I said, "Man, that bag was heavy." He said, "I've been waiting for a priest I can give it to. Somebody who understood what it was about." He didn't grow up Anglican, he grew up Ringatu. But he felt obliged to give it to a mihinari priest that he knew understood just exactly what the gift was about. The sense of obligation is what takoha is about. Hatariki Rei was an old kaumatu who lived in Rotorua. He was Ngāti Toa, but he lived in Te Arawa. And we were talking about the moni koha that people leave on the marae, at tangi, at all sorts of things. And he said to me, "You know, when I grew up, when I went to Te Arawa, I learned there were two forms of the takoha. There was the money that was laid openly on the marae." He said that money went to the marae. There was other money at a tangi which was left at the foot of the coffin. He said that was the whānau money. He said, and after each of those tangi, the whānau would count up that money and they would add to it when they went to another tangi somewhere else. They could spend it, but they would give it back, and they would add their piece to it, so that by the time years had rolled on, the thing got to a pretty sizable sum. Now, it was an obligation on the part of those people to ensure that they kept the gift going. I have to say, sadly, a lot of that custom is slowly or rapidly dying out. The sense of obligation we have to each other is not as strong as it used to be. And part of what we're doing here today is to draw our attention to our obligations to each other in this place and through this place. We have, the team has drawn up what this place is trying to do. I remember years ago at the Holy Synagogue, when I was Maori missioner, I had to do this one year. And the man who helped me sort this through is sitting in this congregation, one John Wilcox at the back there, who showed me just exactly what you had to do in order to be able to reach people in your congregation. I would like to share this with you after the karakia, and those of you who are interested to take a look at it and have a look to see just exactly what it is we believe our ministry is about. We feel obliged to each other and to the community because it's part of our baptism that we are made members of Christ. We are obliged to the Christ who was born, who lived, who died and rose again for us. Our obligation is to share his ministry with others. And that's why that, what do you call it again? Kapata manaki. The cupboard that offers gifts to others. And I hope that each Sunday, each of us will remember and bring along a can of spaghetti, or a can of baked beans, or some dried good that can be utilised to feed another whānau in Māngere. Because there are so many in need. But I just draw your attention to this document, which we will share with you after our karakia. But no way, anyway, to an opportunity to hear what it is that we do and what we envisage for our future here in Māngere. I runga i te ingoa te matua o te tama, wairua tapu. Amen.